Hello Topaz. How are you doing? Long time no see. I hope you've been enjoying what we've been setting for you online. I know I've very much enjoyed looking over what you've been submitting and what you've been up to this past week. But more importantly, I hope you're taking this time to really look after yourselves and each other, because I think that really is the most important thing at the moment. Before we get started, I want to show you two things that I've been enjoying recently, things I've been doing to help look after myself. One of these is this new pair of trainers I've bought. Now, I've bought these because recently I've started running. Now, when I was your age, I used to hate running. It was my least favourite thing in the world because I was so slow. I was always so much slower than everybody in my year group. I always used to worry what people thought of me. But I thought now was the time to give it another go. And actually, I found that when I stopped worrying about what other people think of me, I actually really enjoy running. I'm still quite slow, but it makes me feel good, so I keep doing it. Now, the other thing I've been doing is lots of video calls with my friends and family over Skype and Zoom and whatever it is. I really recommend that you do this if you're not already, because I think it's a fantastic way to keep in touch, and it's so important to keep in touch right now with people we care about. Now, in my family, we believe that you are never too old for a good game of something, so we've been setting each other quizzes every Sunday night. And would you believe it, there is a quiz game called Mr. Lister's Quiz Shootout. Nothing to do with me, complete coincidence. So I hosted this a few weeks ago, and that was good, great fun. It's a shame about the age rating, otherwise I'd bring this in all the time to school. We'd play it every spare moment we had. Right, that is more than enough about me. Let's see what you've been up to this week. Firstly, well done to Ilo, who submitted some fantastic artwork she's produced, as well as a lovely story, The Adventures of Pluto and Ducky, which she's written and illustrated. How wonderfully creative. Even if it's not related to school, if you want to show off what you've been doing at home, please feel free. Send it to the Ask Me Anything assignment and I'll take a look. It's been great to hear all the different ways you've been keeping physically fit and active during this time. Some of you have been having lots of fun with the Joe Wicks daily PE lessons. Keep that up, fantastic stuff. It's great to hear that some of you have been playing team games with your family, like basketball, football, even a bit of tennis. Keep that up as well. Great to get the whole family involved. I know some of you have been challenging your family on Wii Fit and things like that. Great stuff. Some of you are going on daily walks as well. If you can do that, that's fantastic, especially if you've got some nice scenery to walk through. I've heard of one person who's even doing some online kung fu lessons. Now, if that's you, keep that up. What a wonderful opportunity. And special congratulations go to Boggy's family on adopting not one, not two, but 3 lovely black cats from a neighbour. What fantastic additions they must be to your family. Moving on to Stars of the Week. Just look at these amazing time capsules you've submitted so far. It's very interesting to see what you're choosing to preserve. Some of you are donating some very personal items to the capsule, a real snapshot of yourselves. And some of you are choosing artefacts like face masks and public health instructions. That's great if you did, because historians will learn a lot from your time capsules when they get opened in the year 2050. Thanks to those of you who've told me you're still working on yours. Remember, you have until we return to school to finish these, so don't feel you have to rush. It's great to see how much you've all been enjoying reading this week, and all the different things you've been doing to help you enjoy your texts even more. Keep it up, we've got a great variety of things here. As well as these, I hear that Mika has been working her way through 2 Harry Potter books at once. Order of the Phoenix in the morning and Philosopher's Stone at night on audiobook. I reckon she must have a time turner hidden somewhere. And in writing, you've all been working extremely hard on some fantastic character descriptions. Really well done for these. There's 2 I'd like to show you in a bit more depth. Have a listen to these extracts. Upon its shiny golden horn was the most colourful crown I have ever seen. The crown had all the colours you could imagine. The creature had blue, metallic eyes. The twisted horn shot out rainbows. The legendary creature was adorable. The horn was like a diamond reflecting in the sun. The icy soft mane that glistened in the night sky. Skin as smooth as a warm blanket. A fuzzy, pastel-coloured tail. The creature flew off like a whip lashing in the wind. That brilliant description was written by Alia. Thank you very much for submitting that. There's some really vivid similes in there. I like that a lot. And Rubius has written 2 very detailed character descriptions. Have a listen to these. The paper white unicorn had a horn of pearl and hooves of onyx. Huge, colossal wings flapped around, forming a gush of wind in the atmosphere. Medusa's hair was like a labyrinth, lots of twists and turns, never really knowing what is around the next corner. Medusa has turned many people to stone, red marble pillars joining the tall stone walls that rise up from the square-patched colourful floor. Very well done, both of you. And I'm pleased to hear how much you've enjoyed learning about metamorphic rocks in science. Thank you to everybody who got in touch to say so. We'll be doing another lesson on rocks this week, this time looking at sedimentary rocks, so look forward to that. And if you're interested, there is another lesson on Oak Academy already about igneous rocks. We skipped this first lesson because we only started using Oak Academy's science lessons this week, but feel free to go back and have a look if you want to. If this does interest you, I think you'll get a lot out of it. And you're always welcome to do your own science experiments if there's something you'd like to learn about. Well done to Silas, who's been investigating conductivity this week. Here he is lighting up an LED light using paint that's connected to a circuit. And if that wasn't enough, he's even made his own battery. Have a look at this.
Oh! He's blue.
That's amazing. You made that battery all by yourself?
And well done for all of your hard work on the maths this week. Many of you have successfully learned how to add and subtract numbers with a decimal part. That's a very valuable skill indeed. Well done also to everybody who had a go at the My Maths quiz. You scored very well. You are, of course, always welcome to a challenge if you would like one. Well done to Marda for having a go at a challenge from the problem pack, and to Mika and Silas who were very successful in this week's White Rose Friday Maths Challenge. These are not easy problems, so very well done indeed. Speaking of maths, but moving on to computing, thank you to George who submitted this fantastic Scratch project, a game show where you can test your knowledge of fractions. Have a listen to this.
Hello Mr. Lister and the Year 5 crew. Today you are joined by Punisher and Man-Thing celebrating the start of George's new Scratch parodies.
Thank you, Scratch, and today we will be discussing fractions.
Can you name any fractions equivalent to a half? If you said 2/4, 3/6, 4/8, or 5/10, you are correct. Those are some of the answers, but I can't name them all.
Now if you want to test your own knowledge, you can find a link to this project in the description of this video, and it'll soon be up on our school Twitter page. If you think I've edited this video to put the apples around me, think again. Believe it or not, this is actually a Scratch project. Thank you to Silas for submitting this. Now this is a game that you can play with your phone or laptop camera by moving your hands to try and catch as many apples as you can in real life. This is something called augmented reality, or AR. It means mixing reality, so my camera image, with computer graphics, here, the apples. It's one of many projects that Silas has been writing over this lockdown period. He's given permission for me to share these, so as well as being able to find this in the video's description, you'll soon see a link to his Scratch studio pop up on the Salisbury's Twitter feed. Feel free to have a play around, there's lots here. And it's great to see you continuing to show your support for the NHS. They give so much of themselves for us, it's a wonderful thing to do, to take the time to show them how much you appreciate all the ways in which they help us. Keep these dedications coming in. Couple of quick reminders. Firstly, this Friday is a bank holiday. You're allowed to submit things, but we're not expecting you to do any work on that day, so do take that opportunity to take a break and do something that you enjoy. Now there's two reasons that we have a bank holiday this Friday. One is that we have one every year to celebrate the start of May, and the other is very interesting. This Friday will be the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II in Europe, something called VE Day, that stands for Victory in Europe. See if you can use this opportunity to talk to your family about World War II or do a bit of research. How were your family involved in the Second World War? How might your grandparents or great-grandparents have felt when VE Day finally arrived? Something you might like to think about. And finally, don't forget we've recently launched the Salisbury YouTube channel. That's where you can find this video, the Count on Me video, and all sorts of other things that the Salisbury teachers have been up to. We also have a Twitter account which we're updating regularly. Every now and then you might just see one of your own pieces of work get posted, so be on the lookout. Well, that's about it from me. Well done again for everything you've submitted in this past week. It's been really great to see what you've been up to. I really do miss you all very much. Did you know, by the end of this week, it will have been the longest I've ever gone without teaching in a classroom since I first became a teacher? How crazy is that? At times like these, it can be very easy to get caught up in thinking about the things we've lost and the way things are different now. And if we're not careful, that can make us very anxious. So what I'd like you to do, just before we finish, I want you to think of at least 3 things that you have now that you are grateful for. And these could be anything you like. There's no wrong answers here. Whatever comes to mind for you, that's your correct answer. Could be that you've had the chance to spend so much time with your family. Could be a specific family member. Could just be that you appreciate having that time with each other in your household. Could be a family pet. Could be someone you've kept in touch with long distance. Could be maybe that you've got the chance to do something at home that you might not have had time for during term time. Could be that the weather's been so nice in recent days. Or it could be that anticipation, just knowing that there will come a time when all these things we've lost we'll soon have again, and this will just be another story that we tell. Whatever came to mind, please do take the time to appreciate that. That way we can end up valuing these things even more, and that can make us feel better. Well done again for everything you've achieved in these past few weeks. Whether you've shown me or not, you're doing incredibly well. You all are. Enjoy the week ahead, and I'll see you soon. Take care.